Hi, welcome to Unplugged with Eraldo. Today we are going to cover topics that truly everyone can relate to. We have lots to talk about, so let's get started. Joining me is Dr. Venus Nicolino, better known as Dr. V. You all know her from WeTV's top-rated show, Marriage Bootcamp Reality Stars. Dr. V is a relationship expert, a doctor of clinical psychology, and the author of the book, Bad Advice, How to Survive and Thrive in an Age of BS. I love that title. Glad to have you with us, Dr.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right?
BS, right? BS.
So what's going on?
Oh, just visiting Philadelphia.
Right.
So I was born and raised here in Philly.
You were?
Yeah. So
Many moons ago.
Many moons ago. Thank you. Thank you for referencing my age.
I mean it in a good way. No.
So I think that being raised in Philadelphia.
Sure.
Philadelphians, we don't stomach BS very well.
We can.
Well, I think there's something about Philly
that, right?
where people can really point out when something's BS.
That's right. Yes.
So
absolutely.
I think that really helped me and inspired me to write Bad Advice, which is my Philly roots.
That your Philly roots.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So let's go back a little bit in time. Now, how did you? Let's talk about you. You are a TV personality. How did that come about? Was it something you always wanted to do?
Now we're talking many moons ago.
Now we're talking only a few moons. That's it.
How did I become a TV personality? I actually, it's a great question and something I don't think I've ever really thought about. It's sort of something that just I kind of slided into.
Okay.
But here I am,
Here you are,
and
right?
it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying myself.
Okay.
And in reality TV, there's so much of BS, right?
Yeah,
in reality television,
there is.
there's so much BS.
Too much of it.
But I think there's something special about the particular show, Marriage Bootcamp. I can't tell you, Eraldo, how many people stop me in the airport, on the streets. Dr. V, I learned so much from that show. That show helped me communicate better with my partner.
Really?
It helped me communicate better in my life. And so
it's like an educational tool, right?
Exactly. And it's not often when you can be a part of a reality television show where people can take something positive away.
Right.
So in that, I'm deeply grateful.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the book, Bad Advice, which I have a copy of it right here, guys. It's amazing. I started reading it. I didn't get too far, but it's amazing. It's an amazing book.
I appreciate that. It's voicey.
It's
Philadelphia voicey.
It is straight to the point. You don't cut corners. You get right to the point.
Don't mince words.
So how did the idea of the book come about?
Well, I started to hear pieces of bad advice everywhere.
Okay.
So, for example, you can't love anyone until you love yourself.
Right.
Or expectations lead to disappointment.
Okay.
Or when you're trying to ease your anxiety, just be yourself.
Right.
Or you're looking for career advice, follow your bliss.
Right.
Or maybe you don't have regrets in your life. Live each day like it's your last.
Okay.
Expectations lead to disappointment. So, and on and on and
on,
on.
right?
I would hear these pieces of information, and I would hear them repeated back to me.
Right,
so, for example, I had a girlfriend who was going through a difficult time in her marriage. Her husband didn't acknowledge her birthday, and she said, "Oh well,
nothing.
expectations lead to disappointment."
That's terrible.
So I began to really hone in on these pieces of advice, and really wanted to do some deep digging.
Okay.
Are these things true? Are they helpful? Even from a scientific perspective, not even from a theory.
Right.
So that got me very interested in how we digest information, how do we know things to be true, and if they're bad advice, what's the good advice?
What is the good advice?
Exactly.
Right? That's what we want to know, right?
So that's how I got myself involved in writing this book.
So I would classify this book as a self-help book, correct?
Yeah, it is a self-help book. That being said, it starts from the macro and then it goes down into the micro.
Right.
So even though it's a self-help book, I talk a lot about social issues and how society affects us. The only reason why we say this bad
Right,
advice
right.
is because society feeds us this
Correct.
bad advice,
Yes,
right?
yes, absolutely,
So
yes.
I want to kind of target the nucleus of it all.
Okay.
So it is a self-help book in a way, but it's also about social issues and how you, the individual,
Right.
operate in the society around you.
Is it targeted for just men, or is it for women as well?
It's unisex, for sure,
Unisex.
for
You can
sure.
kinda-
Right, and every chapter will speak to different people.
Okay.
So, for example, my husband is 51. He
Okay.
loves the Follow Your Bliss chapter because it's about
Yeah.
finding meaning and
Right.
purpose and fulfillment in life.
Right, exactly.
And it talks a lot about career, where my 28-year-old assistant, she loves expectations lead to disappointment because that's where she is
Okay.
in her lifespan development. So the
Okay.
chapters are modular. You don't have to read the chapters. You don't have to read the book from the front to the back.
Right, it can be
You
broken,
can
right?
you can
You can
go
pick it up
where
in
you
anywhere,
want to
right?
go.
Okay.
And today, I've people don't like to read. If it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
120 characters or
Right.
less,
Exactly.
people don't want to read. So I've written the book
Okay.
for that in mind, that you can pick
Right.
the book up anywhere and take a little piece of information away from it.
So if you give somebody an advice they're in a current relationship, what kind of advice would you give that person? That's
Well, what kind of advice are they looking for? So they're in a current relationship.
current
Okay,
relationship.
so what's happening, Geraldo? Let's,
right.
Tell me what's.
all right. So let's just say that they're the
What do you have
husband-
going on?
Okay, well, let's just say that, sometimes men just don't get it. Right? Is it because they normally truly don't get it? Is it because they truly don't care? Is it just they truly just don't feel like doing it? I mean, there's got to be, right? What is the main reason why just guys don't get certain things in your mind?
Well, I mean, I think that it is a social myth that men don't get something.
Okay.
Their worldview is different. They've grown up differently than women. So if you're talking about a relationship that men just don't get it,
Right.
I know tons of men that really, really get it. And we need to...
So that they pretend not to get it?
I think it's about emotional language. We teach men from a very young age, boys,
Right.
to not be emotional. Boys don't cry.
Right.
And we teach
Absolutely.
emotional language to women. So to little girls to
Right.
express how they're feeling.
Okay.
And so I think boys grow up really with a sense of being like their vocabulary is deficient. So they don't have the words to express themselves. So
understand.
it's not that they don't get it. They get it. They just don't know how to express
How to
that.
express it, right?
So, and with that is a plethora of other issues that revolve around that.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. Are you planning on doing another book?
I am.
How did I know?
I am. I
Right.
am. Yes. I mean, there's lots of bad advice out there. So,
So you want to clear all that up, right?
yep. Bad advice, sex edition. Bad advice, money edition. Bad advice.
Real quick, your marriage bootcamp.
Yeah,
Which season are you on right now?
So we are on season 11,
Okay.
and you can watch that Friday nights at 9 p.m. on WeTV. We are currently in our 11th season.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
So-
many more do you forecast or maybe get a feel for? Is that something you know?
I
or-
do. We've done up to 13 so far.
Wow.
So we have 2 more in the can to share with all of you.
Wow. So how long has the book been out then? Just
Okay, so the book is in pre-order mode, but by the time this airs,
Right.
the book will be coming out November 6th.
Okay, Dr.
So,
V.
yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for
Thank
your
you for
time and
having
thank
me.
you for the conversation.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much.
All
Okay,
right,
bye.
bye-bye.
All right, guys, still ahead. It's in the headlines every day, blockchain and cryptocurrency. But what is it? And will technology replace the currency system we have in place? After the break, we will let you know if it's time to say farewell to the dollar bill.